Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lechtech Musar podcast. We continue with the Pele Yoeitz. We are on page 212 in the Art Scroll. We are on day 72 of Hachzik, moving right along. Today's shir should be lezchut Rafua Shlema for Reb David Moshe ben Yehudit Rachel. Sheb Rafua Shlema Bekarav B'Seich Shar Chayli. So should be lezchut. We continue with the topic of Chesed. V'gam ki yar b'kavod beisa izu ishtei Chesedu. When a person increases chesed to the people of his house, that's also called chesed. Especially since these matters are very deep and profound, especially in the Ilamis al-Yonim, in the esoteric spiritual realms. Especially if the recipient of your Bnei Bais is a tzaddik, that there's a story the Gemara tells us in Gittin that there was an announcement in Shemayim, whoever provides a chesed for this tremendous person will create for himself a tremendous share in Olam Haba. It's not just if it's someone from your household, but it's anyone, any person that's a Talmid Chacham. There's an extra inyan to be mechaber them, to honor them, to make things comfortable for them. Okay, now we're going to continue that chesed is not limited in spirituality, but it applies to all in it. The times where a person has to take care of himself as well physically. It's an important concept that being mevatel from Torah, not learning Torah, that in itself is kiyum, that is fulfilling the Torah. Right now is we're in the middle of Av, so Av is ben Zman. It's between summer Zman and El Zman, and it's a time to not be mevatel completely, but to realize that there's the chol zman ve'es. There's a time to rest up, there's a time to recharge, there's a time to take care of your physical needs as well, and that is not just taking care of yourself, but it's mitzvahs chesed. Ben Zmanim equals chesed. Very interesting. We've spoken about this many times in the past, that when a person gives his friend rebuke, that's considered chesed as well. And this applies to all mitzvahs. Now, a person should be frightened. We're talking about how great and how wonderful doing chesed is for others and for yourself, and especially for Talmidei Chachamim. But when a person does bad, the din v'cheshbon, the divine retribution is going to be so great, because it says because you're causing tremendous pain and anguish to Hashem, and ultimately when a person does averis, it causes the Shechina to remove itself, allowing the klipas, the menias and the forces of tumah and impurity to grow and fester, and a person's going to have to take responsibility for that. Pele Yoeitz concludes this chapter and says that a person who is a Yireh Shamayim, he should choose to be one who's always doing chesed, and he will accept reward from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. We want to emulate Hashem, and just like Hashem does boundless, it's never ending. Hashem is Mechalek Chaim B'Chesed. We too want to emulate Hashem. We do it in the same way. We're kind, we're benevolent, we're giving to others. Then Hashem gives us the same way. So it's the Galgal HaChayzer. It's a revolving cycle. Hashem lo yid metoiv im gadol hachesed anasa im hayochid. Al achas kama v'kama hamir michshol medach rabbi my oisa tzech rabbi migdal schar lefi rabbi toivel lefi mashe rabbi ichlea noito schar aleh. And if kindness is performed with one person is so very great, then how much the more so when one who removes the pathway of bad to others, then the kindness is so immense, the payment is so incredible. So what we're learning over here is that the mitzvah of chesed, doing kindness for others, and there's many different ways for the chesed to manifest. It's doing good for others, for yourself, taking care of yourself, taking care of the spiritual and physical needs of others, even giving teichacha to others, helping people financially, and always remembering that when we do good for others, that Hashem gives us back. It's actually an incredible thing. I gained so much chizuk. Unfortunately, there's someone in my community who is struggling very much financially, with his family, many different things. And I'm in touch with another person who knows this person is struggling, and he told me that he's starting a business, a really nice business, a company that takes care of some type of subscription for a certain product. And I'm learning all about his company and all the different details. And at the end, he tells me, by the way, came up, he said, this business, I'm really starting for someone else. So I said, who are you starting for? And he said, I'm starting for this guy who's struggling, for this guy whose house is falling apart, his family is falling apart, he has nothing financially. To be inspired isn't the word, because this person is a difficult person to deal with. And to know that there's a regular guy, person in my community, who cares enough. He had this idea and he's working to help another person. He's not just giving him money. And he's not giving Matan B'Seiser. He's not giving Tumchi Shabbos. He's not working. He's starting a business for him. He's giving him his time. He's giving him money. He's giving him resources. He's getting him on his own feet and literally starting a business. That's such an incredible idea. But that's the idea over here. And never to forget, we have to motivate ourselves and realize that just as the Eibishter doesn't repay ourselves according to our actions, but Hashem gives freely, and Hashem is a cheshbon for everything, and He goes way above and beyond, and His Mechak Chaim B'Chesed, He bestows kindness. To hear that there are such people around that care so deeply and have this drive, this desire, and are so resolute in this midah chesed, and realize that chesed is one of the pillars of the world, and to not just give someone money, but to start mamish a business for him and to give it over to him. I thought that was mind-boggling. And this person, that's what it means. How incredible his schar is going to be, and he's doing it quietly, he's doing it still, not making any noise, nobody knows about it. This is what he told me, and this is something to keep in mind. There's a big world out there. There's a lot of people that are struggling. We have to take care of ourselves, of course, but if we have extra time, we have extra resources, we're able to help people. Mitzvah is chesed. Sometimes we feel that it's detracting. Sometimes we feel it's taking away from ourselves. But if we can take some time, if we can allocate and think about others and their needs, and realize that Hashem is lo'yin metov, l'holchem b'samen, that Hashem never holds back. Hashem never cuts funds. Hashem never cuts sustenance to those that go in His ways. It's only going to enhance. It's only going to enrich the relationship. It's only going to enrich what Hashem can give us from the Yoeitz Toiv. That should serve as a reminder that we'll never really be losing out. We'll only be gaining from that which we think we're losing. But in Yiddishkeit it works that the more you give, the more you get. When Hashem is in charge, then it's alachas kama v'kama on such a high level.